Good morning, good day, good afternoon, good evening, whatever it is, wherever you're at, whatever day and time you're watching this video. Hey, thanks for joining in on another video here. Going to do a little different bank coin hunt here. I picked up at a local bank here 10 rolls of pennies, 10 rolls of nickels, 10 rolls of dime, and 10 rolls of quarters. So I'm going to call this the 10 challenge. 10 rolls of each denomination, all from the same bank. We got a couple different customer wrapped rolls. Looking at it, we'll look at each one. Nickels are a little mix of customer wrapped and machine wrapped, and the same with the dimes. The quarters are all customer wrapped rolls as well. But we're going to start here with our pennies. And we're just going to start off here at the end. I did take a look at all the enders. I didn't see anything obvious that was jumping out. Unique finds. That all looks pretty modern. And judging by the coloration on there, that is what we're going to get. A couple little shinies in there, a couple darker ones, which might be some quarters. But hey, look at that. As I look at that again, flip that over, we are making money. We got a little dime in that first roll. 2022p. So I will set that one aside and we'll come back and bring that in for the end, but we will look for errors, varieties. I'm going to do a lot of that off camera here. You know, the big ones that we're going to be looking for is the wheat cents, those older dates. I'll look for any of these 2024s that are eluding me. I'll look for the 2023 errors, the extra V in there just because I saw that one. And I might look for other errors or varieties as we go along here. But it's looking like no Wheaties in this first roll. Yeah, no Wheaties in this roll. And that's that. So I will go through those a little bit more off camera and bring you back in for our first find. All right, folks, bringing you back in here. Roll number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep, roll number 5. Been really quiet. We had that dime in that first roll, but we have our first 2009. Nice little finds. I still love that they did the special on the back. A little bit of damage, corrosion in that upper corner. But 2009 Denver, I believe that is his birth. That's the log cabin there. I also came across in roll number 4, I didn't bring it in for that, is this one. And I really wish this would have been a little bit cleaner. Let's zoom in a little bit there. That is a 1982, and that is the large date. And I weighed that, and that is a zinc, which means, being a zinc 1982, that's the large date zinc 1982 that I am missing. And unfortunately, it's ugly. It's not the best of condition, but that completes a book. So that book is now officially complete, and I could put that aside for the future finds. Primarily just focusing now on wheat cents. So we'll take a good look at these, and I'll bring you back in for the next find. All right, roll number 7. Fanned it out here, and haven't taken a look at these, but I don't know if you guys can see it from there or not. Bring a little extra zoom in, but if you walk right towards the end there, you're going to see a little sharp-edged round, and can you see those dots? There it is. We have another foreign find. First one for this roll, at least, or for this hunt. Canadian 1985. All right, normally I would just push this through. Didn't pay attention to it at first, but I keep going back and forth on this. There's a couple characteristics. This, at least, I think will go in a book, maybe not necessarily a flip. 1976. Look at that condition. First of all, just bright, shiny, clean, slightly off center when you look at how thin the rim is here versus over there. Off center strike within standards. Nothing big, but I always flip these when I go to the back, and when I flipped it, I went, there's something doesn't quite seem to match here. So again, beautiful condition on the back side. If I turn, something's not right there. Let's try it this way. So I'm there. Turn. That's a slightly rotated die. I think this is the first time I've seen that die. It's not a significant amount. I keep, I'm like, am I twisting it as I flip it? To get to there, that might be only 5-10 degree rotation, so it's still, I believe that's within the parameters. But flip, try not to move that, and slightly rotated. So, interesting. I know there's parameters. No die is 100% perfect, but that is definitely rotated on there. No matter how I look at that, how I do that. That's interesting. This is my first time ever finding one, so I'm going to be playing with this for a little bit. But again, off center, slight off center within parameters on that rim. Rotate that around. We got a rotated die. Beautiful condition, 1976. So, I don't know if I want to flip that or put that in my book. Make your comments below. Bring you in for the next find. Alright, so 10 rolls of pennies done. This is that bank challenge. Got 10 rolls of each denomination. Pennies are done. Here we are at the summary. So what I've done is I have pulled all the copper. I'm still at that debating stage. Do I keep it? Do I put it back into circulation? I haven't determined. You get a lot of different people that are saying hoard the coppers. Some are saying don't. There's not much of a value right now. There's really no place to resell copper. So not really an investment tool, but I pull them out just because I like statistics and numbers. So we had 21 from the 1960s. We had 38 from the 1970s. And we had 29 from the 1980s. I think that's the most 1980s I've seen. Because that's 80, 81, 82 copper, because I do weigh all my 82s. I also weigh the 83s just in case you get one of that copper planchet error on there. None of which on this, but 10 rolls. That's 88 coppers total, which is roughly 18% of those rolls were copper. But there are some really good, still good conditions. I'll look at upgrades. That is a 1978. I mean, look at that. That is almost uncirculated condition. Good AU at least. Still see those steps. Brilliant condition. For some of these 1970s. Again, so I'll look for upgrades for myself, but that's about it. Of the unique finds, we did find, come on, where's that focus? We did find that 2020 dime in the first roll, which is always fun. We did have 2 Canadians, which I don't need for my books, but it's 85 and 89 Canadian, more modern Canadian. We also had the 2 2009 special release Lincoln Cents. I am definitely going to at least take this one. It's got a little crud on the front, but that's a brilliant back to it, so I'll check for upgrades on that. And we did have the 1958 Denver wheat cent. So 1 wheat cent and 10 rolls. I'm just happy to see them. See that they're still out somewhat in circulation, so we're going to keep that for our collection. But the brilliant find here, still debating on if I want to flip this. I'm thinking I'm going to put it in a flip again. Is that brilliant condition AU 76 Philadelphia. And when we do flip that, we have that rotated die on there. So, alright folks, sorry about that. I got my first roll done here and realized I didn't have my audio set up for that recording. So we'll do this again just because now I'm excited. Gonna look at that. I'll actually turn that around. Looking at the edges, see if anything jumps out. Always look for those darker edges. But that first roll, this roll over here, let's flip that there. There we go. So this roll had two finds. Roll number one. The first find, and I already put it in a flip, that is a 1949S. I know it probably doesn't need a flip per se, but that 49 San Francisco is 9,716,000. That's below 10 million minted for that, and that's why it got a flip. Very fine condition, better than most, but 1949 San Francisco up there, and it also had a 1948. Come on, where's that zoom? There we go. 1948 again, fine, very fine condition, bit of rubbing on there, but 1948, and that was a Philadelphia, no mint mark. So two finds in that first roll. Now we'll thumb through this real quick for the second roll, just to do something live. Last 764s already. As I go through. So my collection of these, other than the 2024s, are complete, except for some key dates in the 40s and of course the 38. So I'll go through these a little more in depth for key dates, any kind of finds, 1970. This one I'll pull aside as well. Let's see, where's my zoom for you to see that? If you take a look at that, that is a 1970 San Francisco. I don't see many San Franciscos out here, so 70, 69, 68s, the San Franciscos I do find in the nickels. Fix that zoom. There we go. I do pull all of those aside. 64. But I'll double check on these for errors and varieties, and like I said, key dates off camera. For us here, again, it's just looking at 1959 and earlier, and see if there's any kind of obvious issues, and I will bring you back in for the next find. Alright folks, bringing you back in here. I don't know if it's just me that I'm looking for these a little more and noticing more, or if it's just this bank. So here is a 1991 Denver, and looking at it with online, I couldn't find anything about this being common, but same thing here. If I rotate this around and went, wait a second, that's not right. Let's flip that around. Balanced there. That's a rotated die. So if I go this way, we'll rotate that around, and that's just slightly off. Not, again, not a significant amount. If I had to guess, put a protractor to that, I'm going to say it's about 15 degrees, and this is in actually a counterclockwise. The other, the penny was clockwise. This is counterclockwise, and I'm going to say that's about a 10 to 15 degree difference. So I know the focus, thank you. I know the general rule of thumb here is to have a 8% margin of error is appropriate, but that is a counterclockwise rotation. I would say 15 degrees just by looking at it. So interesting. Two rotated coins found, 1 penny and now 1 nickel. I'll bring you back in for the next find. All right, folks, here we are, roll number 5. 3 coins from the end, and we have our first or recent 40s sighting. So, good condition. A little bit dirty, high spots rub, but it's a 1946, and that is a 1946 Philly. So Philadelphia is the common year, or the common coin of that year, but it's a 1940s nonetheless. I'll bring you in for the next find. Brings us in for our next find here. This is a 1959 common year, 1959 Denver. So I'll bring you back in for the next find. And here we are at the end of roll 8, 4 from the end, and we have another good find here. That is 1939, second year issued. And so if we look at that 39, that is a Philadelphia. I did already take a look, and I do not see any of the doubling on the Monticello, but there we are. Philadelphia Mint, can I get that angle right? 1939. Bring you in for the next find. All right, folks, here we are, roll number 9 and roll number 10 for the nickels. So we did find a very dirty 1949 Philadelphia. 1949, that is beat up, dirty. I'm thinking I might start a old ugly nickel collection. I've seen quite a few of these come by in my collections. So maybe an ugly nickel collection will be a fun one I might start doing. The other find in roll number 9 was this 1958. I always hope for the Philadelphia, but this is actually, there's that mint mark, Denver. So a 1959 Denver. All right. Last roll of nickels here, and then I will bring you back in for the final summary of the 10 nickels from this bank. All right, so here we are for the summary of the 10 rolls of nickels from this bank, and actually a really good grouping for only 10 rolls. We'll start off with the flipped ones here. As pointed out earlier, here is our 1991 Philadelphia. It's nice to be able to put it in a flip, because as you flip it, you definitely see it more. That's a rotated die. It's rotated counterclockwise, roughly 25 to 30 degrees. So above the standard on there. Not significant for, I know many collectors out there want to see 90 or more. But hey, it's noticeable. It's my first rotated die, especially for a nickel, so definitely flip worthy, at least for my collection. The other noteworthy 1949S, I did put this in a flip because it is a low mintage, only 9 million made on that. So let's see if we can zoom in on that S mint mark. And the 1949 low mintage coin, definitely flip worthy. So let's go now with my focus here. Let's try backing that out a little bit maybe. There we go. Other noteworthy ones, and I'll bring this up next to another coin here just so we can hopefully see them well, is this tone on this. What was this? This is a 1994 Denver. Especially on that back, you get this Aurora Borealis pinkish tone to the nickel, and that is, I really can't see it too well in there, but that's just an odd toning on a nickel I've never seen before. So I did just put that aside just as a fun find in general. Other finds for us, we have, of course, we had two 1969 San Francisco, two 1970 San Franciscos. I still collect all of those just because they're San Francisco mints. We did have our 1939 Philadelphia. And there, no mint mark, none of the doubling on that one. We have a 1946, and this is also Philadelphia. 1946 Philadelphia. We have a 1948 Philadelphia, and the ugly 1949, and that also is a Philadelphia beat up coin. Of the 1950s, we have 1957, both of which are Denver mints. So two 1957 Denvers. We have a 1958. That is also Denver. 1958 Denver. And the 1959. And that's the last year I collect, also Denver. So all four of the Denvers were from the 1950s. 1940s gave us the Philadelphias and the 1939. So we get these all set aside and start bringing in for our dimes. All right, folks, here we are for the dimes. We'll get going here. I've got 5 rolls of bank wrapped and 5 of customer wrapped. Nothing exciting other than the silvers, and I'll bring you back in for any finds that we may have. I am looking for a 1969 to complete my set, but for the most part, it's just a silver hunt with this one. Any doubles, errors along the way, we shall see. Bring you in for any finds. Alright, folks, bringing you in roll 3 here for the dimes. Just a little confused. Here is a Denver mint mark. That is a 2000 and something. It looks like it's missing a digit there. I'm looking at this. It doesn't look like anything's been rubbed off. The condition, it's not like it was filed off. Different angles here. You can see the 2000, 200. Let's see if I could zoom in even closer here for you guys. But look at that. I mean, the zeros don't look like there's too much wear on them, but right underneath that D, there should be something. Normally, especially at this zoom, you'd expect there to be some semblance, some number, some remnants of that. But yeah, that D's looking pretty ugly. That 200, 2000, I have no idea. Any thoughts? Any suggestions? Any recommendations? Just a fun find? Let me know. Make those comments below. Bring in for the next find. Alright, folks, roll number 4 here. Bringing you in. I don't know if you can see that. I just emptied this out and saw that just about the middle. I'm going to shorten this so it doesn't lose that spot there. But you see what I see? Really hard there with this lighting. But look at that right in the middle. Got that nice thick one. Let's check out this nice thick shiny. Oh, that's a 2015. Wow, good condition here. Man, this light. Let's see if I can darken that up a little bit. 2015 Denver, but that's the one I wanted to look at right there. Let's zoom in. You can see that right off to the side there. That is a mint mark, and that is a Denver, it looks like. Yep. Too close. There you go. There it is. Denver mint mark. Which means if there's a mint mark on the back there, that is 1964. So we've got silver. Bring you in for the next find. All right, people, here we are at the end of the dimes. And like I said earlier, not much to expect. 10 rolls of dimes did give us a 1964. Man, I'm getting this glare. See if I can get that any better. 1964. And that is a Denver mint silver. So we did find silver. And the other find you saw just a little bit ago was this, I don't want to say error, but I'll say error coin. I zoomed in on that, and that's the one. It's missing the digit. If I can get the focus, there we go. 2000 and something. It's missing that last digit. I looked at that, and you saw earlier under the microscope, doesn't look like there's any damage in there, so I'm assuming that's going to be just a grease error potentially, but 200 Denver mint error. So I'll put those aside here, and we're going to get going on our quarters. So this is the last section. We did the pennies, nickels, dimes. Now we're doing the quarters. I have 10 rolls here, all the same customer wrapped rolls. We'll start in on this one, and of course I'll bring you in for any finds, but I have not looked at any of the ends on this one, so I have no idea what kind of condition we're going to get. And for this one, yeah, it's looking pretty well circulated, relatively modern. Grab some of these new ones just to see how modern we're going to get. 2023. Jovita Adar. And what is that? That's a P. That might be the one that I'm looking for. So I am looking for a couple 2023s. I do need 2024 Philadelphias. To complete my set, I have the one 2012, I believe it is, L Unique. We'll also be looking for, of course, our silver, any kind of error coins along the way, and those elusive West Point mints. So I will bring you in if there are any finds. All right, folks, so here we are at the end of the 10 quarters. I didn't bring you in because there's nothing really of significance to really look at. No silvers, of course. Still missing that L Unique, so no fills there, and no new 2024s. I thought I needed the one. I had what was that? Patsy Mink, but I already had the Denver. I'm still looking for the Philadelphia on that. I did have 5 bicentennials, and again, I keep those for whatever reason, I don't know, but they're all Denver mint. I had this really neat one I'm pulling out just because it's dirty, but the dirtiness, the darkness on that, let's see if I can adjust the light here a little bit, a little better view. That darkness on that, it's just really neat the way the dark highlights a lot of that character. So it's still in pretty good condition other than being dirty. 1985 Denver. I just like it, so I'm keeping that one just for personal. And then we had 2 Kansas State quarters, 2005. I'll flip these over on both because, of course, with this one, what we look for is we are looking for that In God We Rust. And you can sort of see it there. That's got at least a little bit of the T. I'm going to actually, let's pull out the microscope here and get this in. Zoom out a little bit here. And if we can get this to focus, there we go. There it is. In God We Rust. And if we look, we could just see part of that T in there. That is a grease error. So In God We Rust, Philadelphia. And then the other one, not as good. That's got a little more of the T still showing. You see a little bit of that stem in there. Rotate that around for you guys. There's that T, very faint. little more shade in there. Let's bring that down to the left here, just to see that In God We Rust error again. Man, that light in there is bright. Wish I could turn that down. So 2 In God We Rust errors, one more significant than the other. So that's it for the quarters. I'll put those aside here. I'll probably put the 1 in a flip. And I'm going to bring you back in for the 10 roll, 1 bank battle here. Well, not really battle. And I'll bring in for the overall summary. All right, so here we are for the overall summary for this roll challenge again. It was 1 bank, 10 rolls each denomination. We did have the that a little bit closer. We did have the pennies, 1976, and that had a small 15-degree, roughly 15-degree rotation to the penny. We had within our nickels of significance, we had a 1949 San Francisco, which is a 9 million minted. That's a low minted. We also had out of our dimes another rotated die, 1991 Philadelphia, and that, when you rotate counterclockwise, has about a 25-degree rotation in the die. First times ever finding rotations, and I found 2 from the same bank. It's quite impressive. We had the 200 D on here, and that's again, oh, that's a dime. That's in the wrong section. I'll bring that one back later. Those are nickels. Of our nickels, we had the 1939, 1946, 1948, 49, 57, 58, 59. We had our 1969 San Francisco's, 1970 San Francisco's. You can see it now a little bit better with it being zoomed out. Let's see if I could zoom in just a little bit for that one. You can see the unique toning on that one, almost a pinkish, not quite rainbow tone to that, but just a gorgeous toning. So I'm going to again add that to my collection for unique toned coins. Of the dimes, our dime had that misprint on the 2000, well, 200. It's grease error. I don't know. It's missing that last digit. Is it which of the 2000? 2001, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Denver? Don't know. It doesn't look like there's been any damage or wear just for that one character. So again, date error stamp, possibly. And the only silver for the find out of the 10 rolls of dimes is a 1964, a little bit dirty, but silver nonetheless. And then as the quarters, as we just said, our quarters, we had the 5 bicentennials, the 1 unique toned, and then those 2 In God We Rust Kansas quarters. So that's it. That's the, there we go. That's the finds. 10 rolls of pennies, 10 rolls of nickels, 10 rolls of dimes, 10 rolls of quarters. That's why I also love hunting the nickels as my favorites. Those are, you just always find so much. So a lot of the young ones, maybe if you're lucky, you'll get a couple silvers. I've found buffaloes. So nickels are still my favorite coin to hunt. But hey, thanks for joining in. Thanks for sharing this passion with me. Remember to hit that like button. Really helps me out. Show your support for if you're a hobbyist and a coin collector yourself. Make those comments in the comments below. And remember to hit that subscribe button. Until next week, till the next video, have yourselves a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful day, and happy hunting.